Hello everyone. Today we will discuss the message modification module. To do this, let's go to the left menu and click on Send SMS. Then select Message Modification. With this module, you can change all your sent messages within up to 48 hours that were sent from your accounts to users and direct messages, comments on channels, or in chats. The reason for this is a personal choice. Everyone has their own goals. But the main point of the module is to modify sent messages after some time. That's why you specify the text you want to change it to right here. But first, before using this module, read the important information because some types of messages cannot be edited in Telegram. This is all outlined here, so you'll understand which messages you've sent and what you want to change them to, and so on. Here, you specify what you want to change it to. Spintax and various randomization are also supported. Everything is standard, just like in any other sending module. Next, you need to choose where to modify the message: personal messages, groups, channels, or everywhere. If you select personal messages, only the messages sent to users will be changed. Similarly, for channels, this applies to comments in channels, and for groups, it applies to chats as well. You will also set the time frame for how long ago to change the message. For example, you can choose 36, 12, 18, 24, or 48 hours. So, for instance, if you select 3 hours and you have messages that were sent 4 hours ago, those messages will not be changed. Only messages sent within the selected interval will be considered, with the maximum interval being 48 hours. Other settings are roughly the same as in the message sending modules. You specify the delay between messages, which will be the delay between changes, just like in all modules. You will set the range from N to, and the software will take a random value from this range between each message. Next, select the account you want to use. Everything is standard. You can limit the number of changes if this option is enabled, as mentioned here, in a single dialog, group, or post comment in the channel. There will be that many changes. To explain how this works, if you send 10 messages to one user and all of them meet the conditions for this modification, if you specify one here, only one of your sent messages will be changed. If this option is disabled, the module will automatically change all your sent messages according to these settings. Additionally, there is an option to pin a message in the dialog. If this option is enabled after modifying the message, for example, if you initially sent messages to users without pinning them in the dialog, then we decided to change the message after some time. You change the message, and if the option to pin the message in the chat is enabled, the user receives a notification that you pinned it, thus helping to draw attention to your changed message. However, if you're changing messages in groups or channels, it doesn't make sense to enable this option because it won't work. This option only works in one-on-one chats with users. As for the other options, everything is standard here, including stream management, link viewing, and sending videos in a circle. It's all standard, just like in the sending modules. But as I mentioned, the most important thing is to read the important information because it clearly outlines what can be changed and how. In all modules, it's recommended to conduct a test with 1 to 2 accounts. For example, send yourself a message to your account and try changing it. See how it all works. If you're not just dealing with text being changed to text, but For example, voice messages with text or some other format of sent content. Test it beforehand to see if it will change. Because, as I mentioned in the important information, not all types of messages can be changed into all types of messages. So some want to change, and this aspect needs to be tested. A brief reference on this is described in the important information. Otherwise, all settings are filled out. You launch the module, and the software goes through all your selected accounts and changes all messages according to these settings. The methods of application can vary, they really are different, and everyone has different approaches in this regard. Perhaps you left initial comments on some posts in the channels and want them to change to some offer of yours. When you select the channels, you choose the time frame for the last changes and then set what to change it to. You launch it, and the software automatically goes through the accounts to find those said messages and so on, and thus changes them to yours. And I'll say again, the variations for applying this module are different in groups, messages, and channels. So it all depends on your imagination. Regarding this option, I didn't even mention it, but at the time of recording this video, this option exists. However, by the time the video is released, this option may no longer be available because it's not a relevant option. And it doesn't work, which is why I didn't mention it. Thank you all for watching. Wishing everyone success. Goodbye.